Welcome back to this latest episode of Japan's Top Business Interviews. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, President, Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and my special guest today is an old friend of mine, Elio Orsara, who is the founder and proprietor of the very famous Elio's Lacanda restaurant here in Hansamon, to which I have been coming since 2001 when I moved back to Tokyo. Elio, it is a great pleasure.
Great to see you.
Thank you. You know, I'm a big admirer of yours, Elio. You're one of the few foreigners here who've started a business from zero and not only kept it going, but have become very, very successful in many aspects. So we're here today to talk about leadership. But people who don't know you, maybe just give us a background. You know, why are you in Japan? Why did you come to Japan? What point did you decide to start the business? And then we'll talk about aspects of the business that have come up over the years. But let's start with the background a little bit.
Well, I am from Calabria, that is south of Italy. I grew up in a resort area. My grandparents own like an agriturismo, is a kind of restaurant, farming and everything. I had a very happy life. And this village was like 15,000 people. That in summertime become like 150,000 because it was a resort area. So basically, for 3 months a year, you have Shibuya, and the rest of the years you have nobody. Mm. So since I was a kid, my dream, I grew up with the American dream. Mm. You know, I want to go to America because especially in the 80s, there was many English people, North European, and American Canadian people come to Calabria. Mm. So when I see foreigner, I was curious. So I want to go to America, the American dream. So since I was 16, I saved the money and I start to go to London to have a summer school. Mm. I had to pay by myself because my father said, you do whatever you want, but don't ask me money. So it was a great experience. London, for the first time, I feel freedom. I met so many people, different culture background. It was magic. But of course, no money. And to get the visa in America was quite difficult. When I was in London, I met this Spanish woman. I moved to Spain when I was 20. I opened a restaurant there when I was 20. And, you know, everything was great, but I became quite famous there. The girl was quite jealous. In the middle time came the visa from America. I said, you know, I wanted to purchase my dream. So I moved to America when I was 22, and my expectation was so high and everything. When you are 22, you know everything about life. When you are my age now, I don't know anything. I want to learn everything. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm facing this problem with my kids. When I try to teach them something, they know everything. So that's part of life. So I went, to make the long story short, I was in California, but something was missing. It was not the America that I was dreaming about. So I thought, well, Europe is an old country. California is a new place. Let me go to New York. So I spent like almost a year in California. So I decided to take 6 months break to go to take a job in north of Italy, Como, in a very prestigious golf club. And then I say, when I finish 6 months, I go to New York. I went to work for this golf club, and for the first time I met this Japanese tycoon, the owner, the Nakauchi-san, that invited me in Japan because in Kobe, they opened this huge hotel, they have a restaurant, they say, do the opening just for 2 months. You know, in that time, Japan, Korea, or China was same country. For most of the people, there was no internet. Don't forget. I came first time in Japan in 1990 in October. So I thought Japan was a poor country, you know, everything. I didn't know so much about Japan. I knew the samurai. I knew the Sony because in that time there was the Walkman that was so popular.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It's like the Apple today, you know. And then Antonio Inoki, that was the
Wrestler?
wrestler. So because in Italy, I grew up with Tiger Mask, I grew up with Mazinga Zeta, you know, this is... So I was curious about Japan. I came in Japan and different world opened. The Japanese in 1990 was bubble economy. They was so rich. I went to live in Kobe. Was like the Monte Carlo of Japan. The people was so happy. They had so much money. They were Versace, Armani, Hermes bag. And I say, what's going on here?
And also in Japan, Kobe is a city which has had foreigners there for hundreds of years, really. And I mean, they opened up, 1868, they opened the port up. So the people who live in Kobe are not so interested in, you look at the foreigner. They've seen foreigners for a long time. They don't care. So it's one of the cities in Japan where I think as a foreigner, you can blend in and don't feel people are staring at you or you're standing out or you look a bit unusual. You just sort of blend in.
Well,
very
I had some case that the child say, Mama, look the guy chin. And somebody touched my nose because it was big. But beside of that, Kobe was the most elegant place.
Very elegant city.
And I tell you one thing, I was fascinating always history and background. So near Kobe there is Kyoto and Nara. For me, this is what was the most interesting part. And to be honest, Japan was the perfect country for me. And I explain you why. I am very emotional, short temper, and, you know, physical. Japan teach me how to cool down. You know, Japan, even in the language, you know, I didn't really care about Japan. But there was this mentor that I had, a Japanese mentor that used to live in Italy. He said to me, Elio, the rice that is full stay like this. If it's empty, stay straight. And I said,
what's he talking about?
what you talking about, this old man, you know? Make me think. But the most important thing that really touched me, and even in these days, always I remember. One day he come and say, Elio, Japanese are very stupid. And I say, what are you talking about? You are Japanese. Why you say that?
Why you say that, yeah.
He said, look, they are with you almost a years, and they don't speak one word of Japanese. They don't speak one word of Italian.
Italian, okay.
You know, this is a waste of time. I don't like ignorant people. I will fire them. I say, the old man is out, you know. Then I went back to my apartment and I start to think about. And basically what he says, you almost 1 year here, you don't speak even one word of Japanese. That make me so shame. Next day I bought a book and I start to learn Japanese. You know, was a key in my life because if he came to me and say, Elio, you are here 1 year and you don't speak any language, learn the Japanese, I will react to him. But he said the opposite way.
Opposite way, yeah, very intriguing.
And that was a fascinating, make me understand my mistake, and realize that. So let's say that Japan is not a language, it's a philosophy. So for me, it was very, very good in my case, because I never thought to come here, I never thought to live here. But the experience in Japan make me better person.
Interesting. And so after that, opening the hotel, restaurant
In
Kobe,
Kansai, I came in Tokyo, and I wanted to go back, to be honest, because I had the 5 years visa in America. So I want to go back. I make a lot of money. They pay me very well. They treat me very well. The only problem was that such a big company, I just was one number of them. I have some great idea. I wanted to do things. And we had meeting, and nobody decided anything.
Yeah, as usual.
And then, I felt that they buy me. I am an action person. And I make a lot of mistakes, but I want to try. So I see opportunity, but there was like a wall of gum. Bunch, boom, boom, boom. So I say, it's time to go for me. Then I had a proposal from a company that just opened, was losing a lot of money, KP, that was importing Illy Cafe. And they was doing so bad. And they say, why you don't take over? And I say, I don't want the money. I wanted the share of the company. Let me try. For 6 months, without any money, just pay my apartment. I make money with the Japanese. So I say, if I can break even, give me 6 months time. If I can break even, then you give me 30% of the company and make me the head. And they accepted. In 4 months later, we break even.
Great.
And that's, to be honest, was like the best experience in my life. In the sense that finally I had not a Ferrari, but an Alfa Romeo that I can drive. Before, I had bigger car, but I just was sitting in the back. For 3 years and a half, I take that company from $400,000 turnover to $6.5 million
Whoa, in revenues.
in revenue.
Wow, fantastic.
From a loss of almost 500,000 to a plus of $1 million. Take me 3 years and a half. Of course, when you lose money, people say, we will split. If you make any money, we will split. Once you start to make the money, they give you little. When you start to make serious money, they always find excuse. So challenging was the best thing happens to me. And it's true, I was less than 30 years old. I was making at least 2-3 times what my colleague used to make. So financially it was okay. But the problem was I realized that to have a partner is very difficult. So I said to myself, it's time to go back. I had a
Back
girl to America, always America.
America, right?
But what's happened was that I had a girlfriend, and I had to decide because I cannot bring her with me. So because I had saved some money, I said I make my own company. So. And that's where the challenge really starts. You know, I came in Japan, the apartment was ready for me. I never pay gas bill. I never pay water bill, electric bill. And then, you know, if I had the credit card from the company, all this benefit. Next day, when I quit the job, I had to find an apartment. I used to live in Kojimachi, in a 100-meter square apartment. I moved to Yotsuya to 40-meter square
Oh, 40
apartment,
square meters, that's pretty small.
and old one, and they didn't want the rent to me because I was a foreigner, because I didn't have a company, because I had to ask people to guarantee.
That's right.
Was so much frustrating and everything, but I must say that I never give up. When I see a challenge, then I had to find a place to open a restaurant. I went to 10 buildings. 9 buildings, they say, no, you are not married, you are not Japanese, you have no Japanese partner. Go back to your country.
Pack up and leave.
That's where I face the most frustrating part in my life. Then I came to this building, and there was a sign for rent. It was bigger than I thought. Then I talked with the owner, and he make me put deposit for 2 years.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Then I get the place, and was a Japanese restaurant inside. There was so many small room and everything. I thought the place was much smaller. When I clean up everything, the place was huge. And the cost was really higher than I thought to renovate it. So I call my cousin, I call my brother, I call my uncle. We bought the material, we did by ourselves. And, you know, was a challenge. I tell you, I had my girlfriend, she was pregnant, and I thought, I heard that Japanese people, when they go to wedding, they pay like $300, $500. Then I had the restaurant, I finish all the money. So I say, I get married. So I invite a lot of people and make the cash enough to open the restaurant. So I invite 400 people with 3 different party, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Because people thought that was Italian.
Yeah.
And the communication and everything. I see people on the street, oh, come in my wedding. People didn't realize that there was an opening of a restaurant, the wedding, you know, it was all, and there was no Facebook, there was no social media. Anyway, to make the long story short, 400 people, we start from 2 o'clock, we finish 4 o'clock in the morning. Because there was 3 different parties. Anyway, so I spend like $1 million yen in food. I get money for 700,000 yen. I lost 300,000 yen. And, you know, the first night of wedding, my parents came from Italy. They sleep in my bed, my wife on the sofa, me and my brother on the floor. But I am very proud of this because really start from minus. And then, you know, I had really kind of frustration against the Japanese and the system here. Then slowly make me realize the culture of them. I tell you something. I opened the restaurant. Of course, nobody knew anything. I didn't have money for advertisement. But I had this old lady coming every day, bring their friends and everything. Every day. And then one day I said, oh, thank you very much for coming. You really love Italian food. He said, I don't like it. I said, excuse me? He said, you are a good boy. I know you for a long time. I want to support you. She make me cry. You know, Japan is complicated. But as a short character I have, is get upset because people didn't want the discriminating me and blah, 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 blah. Then in the long run, Japan, I think, is the most fair country in the world because if you are good, you will succeed. But to make sure you are good, you have to put a lot of effort. In Italy, after 5 minutes, we can be best friends. In Japan, it will take years.
Yes. So when you started the restaurant, you know, unknown business, you're unknown, everything's unknown. How did you recruit people to work for you? Because
I was in the restaurant business
already
in Japan with the Daye.
Okay.
So when I had the opportunity to take over the company with the coffee, they had a cafeteria. I closed down the cafeteria and I make an Italian restaurant. And then I recruit people. And one of my best is my right hand is Mikata. He was working for some different restaurant. And he came with me.
He came with you.
And then, you know.
So Mikata has been working for you for how many years now?
33.
How many?
33.
53 years.
33.
53.
33.
Oh, 33. 33 years with you. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, this is, you know, the average in the restaurant business is like 1.8, 1 year and 8 months. My average is 12 years, my staff average.
And that's something, you know, as a patron attending the restaurant, coming here to eat, I feel there's something quite different about the restaurant, the way it's run. It's not the food. I mean, the food's great, but there's an atmosphere. And that consistency of the people is also very powerful. And I feel they recognize the clients because the clients come fairly regularly and they're here. And they remember who the clients are, which in most Japanese restaurants, I would say, impersonal, but good service. Not personal, not welcoming you, but you are treated well. But there's very little connection. Maybe because the okyaksama is up here and the staff are down here. They don't feel they can be on the same level. But with your restaurant, I feel family. I feel like I'm part of the family here. It's a different feel.
I am in the food business since 5 generations. And that is a great base. But the experience in Europe and in America, I had things, management skill. Each country has something special. You know, in America, I learned how to do business. The American, for me, are the best in business. That's why I send my kids to study in America business administration. Because the Americans, they know how to run business. The Japanese used to be the best in the service business, and the philosophy of Japan is great. So doesn't exist one concept. Depends of the experience you have to take the best of it and make your own concept. So what I did basically is in Japan, I fall in love in Japan, you know why? I was 23 years old, the first time I came in Japan, and everybody called me sensei, master.
Mm.
And I didn't believe it. They paid me a lot of money, they called me master.
How good
I
is
thought
this?
I was a big shot. And I thought, Italians are the best in service, in food. There is nothing up to us. We are number one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to Kyoto. And they take me to this beautiful Japanese ryokan.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the garden that I thought was a fairy tale, the red carp, there was so komakai, so specific. And then I see this old lady coming with kimono. I never see kimono in my life. And she said, welcome, with a big smile. And I thought, was Madame a butterfly? And I say, no, this is not real. And then we sit down, they give the elegance and the softness, the delicatess, the service. I was impressed. I say, wow. And then they started to serve this kaiseki ryori.
Kaiseki ryori, yeah.
And I never see that. And I say, wow, I can learn. For the first time in my life, I say, wow, I can learn a thing about what it was my idea. I say, wow, I learned the Japanese food and I go to America to open a Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
And about running my business, I knew because I was an employee. Motivation is very, very important. Sharing the good thing, the bad thing with the people. Psychology.
Talk about that a bit more. For example, if you're in the hospitality industry, food service particularly, it's very busy. You're standing. You've got to be able to deal with people of all different temperaments. They're a good mood, bad mood, they turn up, they whatever. How do you get your team to have the same atmosphere in the restaurant? Because you're Italian, you have Roberto, Italian, Constantine, Italian, you have a few Italian staff here, but most of them are Japanese. So how did you get them motivated to not give a typical aloof but polite, good Japanese service, to give a warmer sort of, Elio Loconda type of family feeling service? Because it's not just you or Roberto, or Constantine. It's the whole team is like that. How did you encourage them to become like that? How did that work?
Well, there is a base. We take the kids from catering school.
Catering school, okay.
From hotels to school. They are usually 18, 19. We make them educate here. We send them in Italy to study in Italy. They come back and they work. So
when you say you send them to study in Italy, they go to
my sister. My sister is in Italy as agriturismo.
So they work in her restaurant.
Work in their farm. They work in their thing, because food is culture, my friend. You have to give the opportunity to learn and I want all my staff to be. To the first question I make is say, what do you want to do? If somebody say, oh, I will be your employee all my life, I will not take them in. If somebody say, I want to make my own restaurant, then this is the kind of people, motivation. Second thing, education. You have to educate people. Third thing is the place of this restaurant. Why I didn't want to do a chain restaurant. Kojimachi is a ghost town, especially in nighttime. But it's kind of a royal area. So, to make the long story short, nasty people don't come in Kojimachi. It's fair to say that.
Yeah.
So you have a first select of people. Then you have the restaurant from outside. Doesn't look like a restaurant. This is not right restaurant. So basically, we are unknown. It's a secret place.
It is actually, yes.
98% of our customers are repeat customers.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So
Let's just say
I
that
don't
again.
need
98% repeater rate.
Yes.
There's so many industries, companies be amazed by that. And in the restaurant trade too, that's incredibly high.
Then, and the 2%, actually 1.6% is you bring your friend that doesn't know the restaurant.
Yeah, that's true.
The rest is people that read thing about Elio. I don't do advertisement. I don't do, but social media people come here. Now I had a lot of problem with foreigner.
Oh.
Yeah. Not the foreigner that are in Tokyo. This is the usual customer.
Yes. Yeah, they live here.
But the tourists.
Tourists.
Because they don't know the Japanese rule. You know, in Japan, you are a gentleman. You know how to behave wherever you go. Foreigner, they don't know Japan. And we used to make sure that the people, I am John Smith, I want to come there, 7 o'clock, 6 people. Then they come here, 7:30. Then there is one, the father vegetarian, the mother vegan, and there is 4 children, 1 year old, 3 years old, 5 years old, 7 years old, one crying. I have people here that talk business. I have a politician. I have business people. I have all the kind of people that we are Italian, we are funny, but you have to respect the privacy of the people. The first rule in Japan, don't bother people, don't disturb people. Of course, I don't blame the foreigner, but they don't know.
They don't know.
So what I make the simple rule, if we don't know the customer, we will say, sir, we are full, you can come after 9 o'clock. So if they have kids, they don't come.
They're not going to come, yeah.
And if they behave bad, I will say to them, please leave. But to be honest, never happens till now.
So, you mentioned, because we're the theme of this podcast is leadership. So you have your restaurant, but you also have farms. You have your own fishing boat. You have a number of enterprises.
I will explain to you that. But one thing is to run a company. What I did, I thought that to keep the people, the key to keep the people. So what I did, because I was an employee, and I studied what was the mistake of the management, what I did is, we give a salary, we give a bonus, guarantee, and then in March, we do the profit sharing program. Everybody, 50% of the company gain is distributed to the staff.
Equally?
No,
okay.
No, because there is like how many years they are with us, what he did to effort. I mean, how old is it, which position and everything. But there is an exception. I had the young 25 years kids that he did great to us, make a lot of money to the company. He get a sharing profit money like one of the oldest manager. He just was here for a few years. So there is all the kind of thing. This is I decide.
And you mentioned before, the people who say, I just want to come and be an employee, not interested. I want to run my own restaurant. Oh, come on, you have motivation. But what do you do about those people leaving? They got the motivation, they study under you, they get motivated, they say, I want to be like Elio, run my own restaurant. Bye. You have to replace them. Do you have that problem of turnover that you have to keep replacing?
Look, because we are expanding, we have a problem. Because to educate, to make sure that kids become a professional will take it between 5 to 10 years. And the competition is very high. So when I start, the first 5 years, few people, I become kind of famous. There was other restaurateur to come over and take my chef and other 2 people from the kitchen.
Really?
Offer them like 3 times the salary.
Oh my goodness.
This was a very tough time.
So they're coming in, offering big money, take your people out?
From 6 people, take 3 people.
Oh, wow.
And they want to destroy me because, the reality is, I married to a Japanese, but she was my employee. She was my waiter.
Right.
I don't have a political connection. It's sad to say, but when I say I own this, everybody think, he married some rich family, the wife help him. So I had to make my own structure on my own family and my own people to protect me because I am vulnerable here.
So, I mean, I don't know whether Germano is
Germano
still
is my
in the
brother.
kitchen?
Germano now is is supervising everything.
Right, and so you had Roberto, a cousin, is I don't know, Constantine, is he a relative? I'm
Yes.
not sure. He is too.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of family in the business, right?
Yeah, because when I started, I didn't have no money. So this is the key people that help me. But I treat everybody the same. I have my Japanese employee that are my family too, because, they come when I am 18, they get married when they're 30. I am the good father to the kids. I am the guarantor of the loan of the house. So it's kind of life. Is really, this is what I enjoy. What I started to do is, when I opened the restaurant, then we become good. And in restaurant, I had to expand to keep the people.
So that's what you're saying there is...
I cannot have 2 manager or 4 manager in a restaurant.
Well, this is a problem with small businesses, right? It's a very flat structure. How do people go up? So if you want to keep people who are ambitious, you've got to provide some elevation.
Exactly.
They can go up in level. So you have to expand. So that's
if one guy costs you $30,000 a year, and then 50, and then 100, you cannot have 4 people of $100,000 to run a 40-seat restaurant. So what I did, I realized that restaurant is the most dangerous things.
Oh, okay. Restaurants are the most dangerous things. Why is that?
Yes, because you don't own the building. You go and you find concrete to make the pipe and the thing. And a small restaurant costs at least $500,000 to build from scratch. You run for 6 months, is losing money. You losing $1.5 million easily, because you have to destroy the restaurant
At the end, yeah.
at the end.
Refurbish it.
So this is too risky. So what I did
So I always thought the training industry was the most dangerous, but now I see that yours is a bit more dangerous than mine.
is dangerous. And what I did is we start with Giorgio Armani asked us to do catering when he did the first fashion show in Japan.
And
We
by the
did
way,
that.
just for the viewers, there's a wonderful photograph of Giorgio in the foyer of the restaurant there. One of the many occasions I'm sure he's been involved. That was fantastic.
But Giorgio is not just a customer. Giorgio is my lucky thing.
Lucky thing.
Yeah, I started this restaurant in November, and then nobody knew me. In January, came Giorgio Armani for lunch. Then he came for dinner. Then he came for lunch. Basically, lunch and dinner for a week. The Japanese hate me because they wanted to take him in fancy restaurant and everything. Because he's a simple person, he come every day. And, was first time in Japan, he came in Japan. And one night, I take him walking out of the door. There was like 100 people. There was all the TV, everybody outside the restaurant, and I was next to him. Of course, he had somebody translation, but he said to me, "What did they say?" And I was there, and they start to talk, blah 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 blah, and then they say, "You like Japanese food?" And he say, "The only food I eat is Elio."
Oh, nice testimony.
Next day for the next 10 years, I was full.
Wow.
For 10 years.
Wow.
And when I did my first book, I wrote a dedicate to him because it's my savior. Because it was really, really
I think we
hard.
need a bust of, Giorgio in
No.
the foyer. We could all,
and
bow to it as we come in.
I mean, I have is my
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I will love him. But I realize what is beautiful about a restaurant. What I find fascinating is when people come in the ambience like this, they relax. In Japan, for business or for anything, you have to wear a mask all the time. But when they find a friendly guy like me, they take out of the mask. And in Tokyo, you cannot take the mask anywhere.
That's true. Absolutely true.
That's the food, the ambience, the people wishing. You have to be a little bit a psychologist.
If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. Leading is easy. Getting people to follow is the hard part. That is a great quote from Yogi Berra. Surprisingly, despite the complexities of leading here in Japan, everyone has to work it out by themselves. Foreign leaders want practical, applicable, expert advice. This is now available for the first time in history. Grab your copy of Japan Leadership Mastery on Amazon today and avoid the mystery, trial and error, especially the errors. On that point though, You own the business.
Yes.
You have family members in the business.
Yes.
They're foreigners. They're Italians in Japan. They understand everything. Your kids have worked in the business at different times. Alberto served me as a waiter when he was younger, right? Going through uni. How do you transfer that into the Japanese who work in the business so that they can also maintain that same level, that same mentality? Because, you know, as a Japanese, I'm instantly going to feel a cultural barrier to act too friendly to a fellow Japanese. I'm going to, they're senior, they're older. I'm just a waiter. I can't be too familiar with them. How do you work that? Because that's quite a complex thing for Japanese to pull off compared to, say, foreigners.
To be honest, I don't make difference to nobody.
You don't, but what about the Japanese who work for you, though?
Listen, one lesson that I heard, there was this old man come here all the time. Very nice. Didn't spend too much money, but he was a loyal guy. One secret is never ask what they do or who they are. The privacy of the customer must be granted. So, of course, there is customer that give me the meshi, and
Like
this is the people.
Today.
This is the people that they want that you know them. But there is reserved people. Then, this guy come frequently. One night there was Emmanuel Pratt. Emmanuel Pratt is the chairman of Louis Vuitton Group. He's the one that founded Louis Vuitton Group in Japan. I know him since I came in Japan. And he said to me, Elio, do you know him? I said, of course, he's my friend. You know his name? I said, no. It's Tsutsumi.
Oh.
I said, Tsutsumi. His name is Tsutsumi? He said, yes.
Who's Tsutsumi? Yeah.
Is Nippoichi. Is Japanese #1 wealthy person. I said, really? Yeah. Oh, that's good to know.
Tsutsumi brothers, right?
Yeah. The novelist. And because he's a friendly guy, one night I say, look, I find out who you are.
Yeah.
You have a hotel, they have the Prince Hotel chain, they have a restaurant, they have everything.
Everything.
I said, why you come here all the time? He said, because you treat me as a human being. I am a Japanese. If I go somewhere and people bother me, I have to bother them.
I can't relax.
I am 75 years old.
Yeah.
When I want to relax, I come to Elio, you touch my shoulder, you treat me like a human being. And this is for me, I feel good. People in Japan, there is a beautiful culture of respect of the older or everything. But because there is so many rules, people forgot only one thing, to read the heart of people. Rules are great, but emotionally, empathy. The empathy is the most important thing. I see people here coming all the time. For example, you come with your business partner and you talk business. I come, I greet you, I disappear. You come with your wife. I come to you, I greet. I ask about the kids, about your family, about the thing. You come with your girlfriend. I come there, I say hello, and I disappear. You come with the boyfriend. I come there, I say hello, I disappear. You have to read, even if it's the same person, you have to read the atmosphere. And of course, I make a lot of mistakes. Last week, almost I cry. We was very busy. I come in, I go table by table.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see this two-seat table with an old person and a young girl
Mm-hmm.
chatting each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I read the situation. I said, better I don't go to bother them.
Mm.
I know the customer. They come here. Everything went well. He's leaving, he's paying the bill downstairs. I went there. I said, thank you very much for coming. I hope everything was okay. He said, the food was okay. The service was sucks.
Mm. Mm.
And usually, people don't say that.
Mm.
And I say, my apology if my colleague make a mistake. He say, was not your colleague, was you.
Oh, whoa,
And I
oh.
say, excuse me. I didn't even come to your table. He say, that's why. I want to show the young girl that I am a friend of the owner of the thing.
Okay.
And believe me, almost I cry. I couldn't sleep in the night because I didn't read the right. You understand?
I do.
In this business,
I do.
you have to do something.
Mm.
You're learning every day.
Very hard to tell, though, isn't it? You know, he's
But
this is a complex society in many ways.
yes. I thought, you know,
Well, you got the wrong call on that one, you know, but that's probably a rare
but
one.
it still hurt.
Yeah.
And I tell you one thing. My secret to love, because the secret of the restaurant business is you have to love the people. If you don't care about people, then don't do this job.
But that's an interesting point, you know, Elio. I meet a lot of people in the service sector. I meet, for example, I meet a lot of people who are HR in companies, and you can tell they fundamentally don't like people. And I often ask myself, what the hell are you doing in this industry? It's a people business, like the training business. If you don't like people, you shouldn't be in the training business because it just doesn't match. You've got to have empathy and like people to be successful in these people businesses, right? But sometimes people wind up in people businesses who should be prison guards, which is their real best of job. They wind up in the wrong business. But thinking about, I want to ask you the question, like, you know, you started one restaurant here and you didn't create a chain, you mentioned that. But you created other businesses. So my question to you this is, how do you scale businesses where there's only one of you and you have to at some point start delegating authority to other people to run parts of the business for you? How did you manage that transition from being the total one-man band, you run everything, you got fingers on all pulse points, total control, to having to actually let go and let other people run parts of the business? Because that's a big transition from, you know, owner to someone who's now running a very complex structure.
So I started with 6 people. Now I have 150
Wow, 150. Gee,
in 6 different companies.
6 different companies. Okay, well, so how do you run that?
I explained to you. So I started with the restaurant, then I make the cafe and the catering business. Then I make the deli, all this kind of thing. And this is one. When my second son was 3, we find out that it was chemical allergy. In 2003, 2004. And that's affected my life. Because in Japan, everybody talk about organic food. But they all, with all the respect, are all BS. Because the standard here of organic food.
You know what they call that in Australia? A spud is a nickname for a potato. They say rub the spud in the mud, so it looks like it's organic. They call that rub a spud in the mud for fake organic.
You know, I didn't do for the PR. I did for medical reasons. So I start to farm.
Mm.
Then in 2011, there was Fukushima problem, aviation problem.
Mm.
And I say, no, I have to move. So I start in Hokkaido.
But just let me talk about that too, because I was here. I didn't leave Japan. I didn't leave Tokyo.
I didn't leave
State.
either.
You didn't leave either. And I was coming here, and I still remember, Mikata-san was going to the market with the Geiger counter. Geiger counter, running the Geiger counter over the product before he's buying it for the restaurant, because you worry about the clients, And I don't think there were too many other guys down there at the market running their Geiger counters over the leafy vegetables or whatever to check on the radiation, And that, I remember that at the time thinking, wow, that's impressive, like that thinking, that attention to detail, that thinking about, well, we have to make sure, because I remember the agricultural cooperatives, I read this in the press saying, well, look, we have to ship the food. We have to ship the food. Otherwise people are going to get paid. So too bad if it's got radiation on it. We have to ship the food anyway. And it's like no point of cutting off radiated food at the industry level because they're all worried about money. At least in your restaurant's case, you were taking it very seriously. So when you talk about food allergy, chemical allergy, taking care, I know from my own experience, having been here at that time, how you took care of the food we were eating as guests in the restaurant. So that I understand what you're saying.
But the point is, all of us make mistake, but we have to take care of each other. This is a circle of life. And to stay in the restaurant for 12, 15 hours a day, if I cheat you, I lose motivation. When I make something, I give it to you. I am so proud. Any product. And even, I tell you a secret. Each customer, I check if he left food.
Yeah.
If they left food, I go crazy. And, Japanese, nakipai, this and that.
Yeah.
I don't care. And everybody said to me, Elio, just relax, there's too much food or something, because we are generous in our portion. But that thing, that spirit, I swear on myself, till the day I get offended if people leave food on the plate, I will do this job. If one day I see the food left food on the plate, I don't care, then I will quit. Another thing, another secret, I never see how much people spend. I don't want to know if you are 5,000 yen customer, 10,000 yen customer, or 100,000 yen customer. Because when I see you, I have to see the person, not the customer that spend money.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because in a lot of industries, people are very much judging how they will treat you based on how much you spend, and how nice they are to you based on how much money you're worth to the company or to them personally based on how they're paid. So that's interesting. But coming back to, how did you bridge out of being sort of like a one man to having 6 companies and different industries, geographically spread around too, to be able to let go and let other people run parts of the business for you? Because for a lot of people, that's very hard to do. They get to a certain size, they can control it. Then when it grows a bit bigger, they can't control it, they suffer, they struggle. They don't know how to delegate, or they don't know how to have people accountable or have them empowered. How do you manage that?
That's my way. I don't know if it's a secret or not, but my way is you take the people who work with you and the concept and the view of life you have. Then people has a skill to make the best food. People has the skill to make great salesmen. People has a skill of management. Let's say in 50 people that are middle high management, you have just 5, 6 that has the potential to do. Then you make them in charge for something, grow up. In my case, why 6 company in 30 years? Because I open company that every 5 years. You know why? To open a company, you need the cash. So for 2 years, I put the cash. For 2 years, the cash has to come back. Another case, I close the thing. After the money are back, 2 years to make a base for next business. In the 50 years, you open the company. I don't do that. Oh, I am in the food business, tomorrow I am in the software, and tomorrow in the thing. I do only food business because I have knowledge of the food. The biggest challenge I did with Fattoria Bio, the cheese factory, because I didn't have the fund, I had to sell the house that I bought for my family, but I really needed to do this. Was my dream, was a challenge, because if somebody said to me, you cannot do this, this is the time I will do it. If somebody say, oh, do it, it's easy, I am not interested.
Why is that? Why are you like that?
Because I need the challenge. People say, oh, you can never own a company. I opened my own company, I own my own company. Then when the cheese was, the biggest thing was I did the catering, doing well for 10 years. I realized that to rent a place with the catering, you have to update your machinery, your cook and everything all the time. So I rented this place, I bring the technology from Italy. Japanese owner say, no, you cannot bring this oven, you cannot bring, that's sabunai, this, you have to buy something. I have to be different from my Japanese competitor. So I have to use my Italian know-how to make better. So what I did, I bought a building.
That's the best solution.
I was not intention to buy a building. And because of logistic, because catering is not lunch and dinner. You do 5 catering in the weekend and you do 0 Monday or Tuesday. One day you have 4 catering, one day you have 0. So logistically has to be in the center of Tokyo. So I have to find a place in center of Tokyo. In center of Tokyo, there is no central kitchen or catering center. So I had to buy a building. I bought the building 2010 in November. I spent all my private money to renew, to make first floor, all catering center. From second floor, we have 12 apartments, rent out, this and that. I opened on March 1st. I had full reservation till September. I thought I was a genius.
Looking good.
10 days later, we have the Ducati party in American Club, 650 people, March 11, from 6 o'clock. We never did it. I thought my life was over because Fukushima happens, because I was full of debt. From the next day, there was no customer. I had huge loan with the bank. If I had a gun, I shoot myself. Then, management-wise, what I did, there was a lot of problem, but I never thought that people are scared because they don't work. I had the catering center and the restaurant empty. And I say, oh, take off. Nobody wants to take off because everybody's afraid to lose their job. Then, honestly, I was scared. But I had to do something psychologically to everybody. Then I call everybody and I said, look, we are strong, we have money. Japan was good to me. Let's adopt a city. And because we had the 3 containers of food, and all the party are canceled, of course, and the food expired. So I say, you know, I didn't go to Fukushima, but I went to Rikusen Takada. We adopted that place, and every week we bring food for everybody. And that's the 2 meanings for me. One, I use that because of my staff was preparing food, was working, they was feel good about to help other Japanese. Me, because the food that I had didn't cost me anything. I was keeping the staff busy, and I feel good to do something about Japanese. What I didn't expect, as a foreigner, I had a lot of frustration, I was mentioned before. You know, we are in Japan, we are treated with respect and everything, but, you know, many times happens, you have a discrimination. And because I didn't come here because I want to come in Japan, I say, okay, once I will do everything, I will go back in Italy. You know, I don't want to die in Japan. I don't want to stay too much in Japan. But I didn't expect when we go to Rikusen Takada, and first we'd go to the center. We bring food and everything, but after less than 1 month, after the 30th week, they had everything. Was good the first and second week, because Japanese to organize take time. Once they are organized, they are the best in the world.
Perfect.
So what we did is we had the center, because the problem there was not the one that lost the house, but the one that had the house, but they didn't have gas, electricity, or water.
No power.
And because they was not damaged, they was afraid to ask for help. So we went there, knock the house of everybody. I find a 93 years old lady that had a huge house, and she was the boss of the Rikusen Takada. And I say, you know, we want to help. What do we have to do? He said, okay, I send you fax, and you come in weekend to give food. And we tell you our request. Okay. And you think, oh, they are starving, food, water, drink. You know what was the number 1 request? Gasoline. Gasoline, because they don't have, they have the car, they cannot move. Number 2, oil for the stove.
Cooking oil.
No cooking oil for the stove, the gas for the stove.
Oh, okay.
Number 3, mutsu for kids, for all the people. The pamper.
Pamper, yeah. Diapers.
You know, thing that you never think about. Raining shoes and everything. And I must say that one was the most interesting time in Japan. Because, you know, we are in Kojimachi, people are kind of snobbish, people are kind of high society and everything. And especially the Italian community, you know, I am a dottore, I am the this, I am the that. When this happens, we make an association, because I am very superstitious. I don't want to put Elio in something. If I do something, I don't want people to know.
Oh, okay.
So, we take this Italian for Tohoku. I did the Calabrese Association. And what we did is they send the fax, we go there, we bring for 2 days. But the beautiful thing was that because I had the restaurant that I know everybody, people say, Elio, please take us there. We want to help.
Volunteers.
Oh. We go always
We'll come with you.
15 to 20 people each time. And to go to Rikusen Takada will take 6 hours or 8 hours to go and 8 hours to come back. Was not easy. And we stay there all the day. And this was kind of crazy because, you know, dottore and this and that. We make huge buffet for 1,000 people. You stupid, cut the bread like this, I told you. And this was because it was everything off the record. We was in the same level. Usually, this is guy is the president, the big shot of this. And sorry, I say, the lady from the fashion, I told you the soup has to be 1 scoop. This, sorry. You know, was such harmony. I was so proud. You know, in Italy we say miracolo italiano. You know, when something amazing comes. This was one of that moment. Was a miracle to put all team. Because when really time get tough, Italian people has the speciality to get together. But what was the biggest change was, you know, these people lost their house, the kids, you know, there was not something else. But we tried to do everything, and people give us gift and everything and cry. And, you know, I thought always Japan had all this barrier, cold and everything. And as a foreigner, I tell you the truth, I always felt like a Rolex. People give you compliment and everything, but they don't use every day. This is what I felt. I felt like a jewelry in Japan. People love it, respect it, but they don't care. When I went there, I had all this frustration because of these people. For the first time, I was feel part of Japan, because before I was always an outsider. Then, when everybody tried to run away from Japan, and because the Japanese government gave me a lot of money, not to give me, rent a lot of money, never get 1 yen, but they give me. And because we had saved money, when I decided, well, I don't want to go back anymore in Italy. I want to stay here. I want to dream, to make my dream come true in Japan. So after Fukushima, I had this crazy idea to make this cheese factory in Hokkaido. Everybody said, no, Japanese milk is no good. Nobody will do
But I think
this.
you imported the stock from Italy, right? As I remember.
Yeah, but you cannot, mozzarella is like tofu. You don't make a tofu that can last 6 months. The tofu you make today, you have to eat in the next 3 days. And they have such a beautiful milk. Then I bring the machinery, I bring the cheese master, and we did. Then I did the salami challenge, and then I do the agriculture thing. And if you think that when I was a baby, I see my grandparents doing vegetable, I say, I want to live this space, and I want to live in New York, in London, in Paris, in big city. I did that. But my life bring me back to who I am. And to my children, to the future generation, I just say one thing. When you are young, you have to do all the kind of experience. And because I left home very young, my parents didn't really give me support to go to the best university or anything. But they give me something that is priceless. The dignity. You know, when you are 16 or 18 or 20, and you go in a foreigner country where you have a lot of chance to make easy money, and you don't do it, not because I don't want to. I didn't do, you know why? Because I belong to a good family. If I do something wrong, I can never go back to my family. It's kind of honor, it's kind of dignity. It's calm. Is the thing is you cannot bring shame to the family.
That's a very Japanese concept too.
Well, I find Japan that is my country. I find, you know, family. I married to a Japanese. I don't see different. My mom is a pain in the ass. My wife is a pain in the ass. But they have the same family concept. And this is, for me, is very important. And, you know, in business-wise, you have the people, you make them grow up. The synergy is very important. And if you are good, you have to see the motivation of people, the skill. The skill they can learn if they are willing to. So you say, okay, my friend, you run this company. I give you a salary. If we make this money, you have this part, this part, this part. And give them a chance. Of course, there is somebody can do it or cannot do. But the secret in the food business is, each time I say, oh, I'm going to do this project, I will make tons of money. Each time I thought like this, I lost everything. If my motivation is, I'm going to do the best product, the money is the consequence of the product you make.
Of the attitude.
The attitude.
You know, what's your definition of leadership? How would you define leadership?
We have to work a lot to ourselves. To be a good leader, there is no recipe. There is experience. There is common sense. There is part of psychology. You have to read the people, but not in schematic way. Empathy. You have to put yourself in the person that you have in front. You have to take the energy, the negative energy, and put in positive energy, motivate. And we have to accept the diversity of the people. If you can find, you know, many colleagues of mine, they have been successful. They say, this is my way, everybody has to do this way. Doesn't work. because everybody's different. The concept has to do, to reach here, if you're jumping or running or go around, it's important that you reach here. How you do is the person in charge. You can give it the direction and the time. And you have to find the motivation, you have to find the effort, you have to find, because there is people that they can do very easy, naturally, and they don't know how. There is people that spend all their life to think how to do, to study, and then they go and they have trouble. So leadership is to take care of everybody how you take care of yourself. But to teach, my father always say, who doesn't know teach, who does know doing. So better for a leader to learn and to make experience of what they talk. You know, this is my own thing. I have young people, less than 30, to come to advise me.
To advise you. Okay.
And I welcome them. And they are really good because they study, they know the thing and everything. But they are like a program, a computer program that tell you what to do. In my business, probably if you talk about finance or this or that will work, but in my business is a more romantic thing because it's a human being touch. So, and always I ask, look, which kind of experience beside the school you have? If I ask you advice, if you have a 50 years experience and you have 5 years experience, what do you think I will ask you? If it's computer software, something that we are dinosaurs, I always ask the youngest one. But about company leadership and everything, I believe that to be a leader, you have to suffer. You have to take the hard way and do the thing by yourself before you can lead somebody. This is the way I see. Probably I am too old.
I don't think so. I think there's always, leadership, I often think, is you've had blood coming from your ears, from your nose, from your mouth, from your eyes, because you've suffered and you've learnt the hard way, and then you can know how to avoid trouble or to advise others from perspective. Theoretical perspective in leadership is almost fantasy in so many ways. The reality is so much harder.
But the one thing about leadership, in my experience, because to be in the public business, you absorb so many things. One thing that I can talk about Italian business people. If an Italian business person has been successful, then he get the God complex.
God complex? Okay.
He know everything.
Okay, right.
Then, in my case, I study, and every day, to be a good leader, every day you watch yourself in the mirror, and you have to do I say in English, this is autocritica. You have to criticize yourself. And then you have to be honest with yourself, because one of the main problem is we lie to ourselves, not to others too, but to ourselves. This is wrong. You have to, in my structure, what I do, to put the people together, leader don't want the people around them that they know more than him.
Yeah.
This is the cancer of leadership. Because there is jealousy and there is afraid that they take your place. This is the opposite. If I see myself in the office, I never like to work normally I don't like to work with a woman, because my business is male, and because in the job I don't care if you're a woman, man, gay, I treat same everybody, but the women are much smarter than the men. When I get angry with a woman, they cry, then they go to the cook's son and they say, oh, Elio was bad to me, and everybody, oh, Elio's a bad person. And that's make me furious, because women know how to manipulate, because are smarter than men. Then I realize that in the last 10, 15 years, women become much stronger than men, much smarter. So I had to convince that I don't want to be with a woman because it's mendoxai. Then I realized that they are much better than the same age male. Then in the management place, I have only women now.
Oh, okay.
For a macho like me, you never believe it. But because to be a leader, you have to recognize who is good. Because if that person is good, your life will be easy. You can do much more. Then another thing is, I don't have a formal education. I don't speak Japanese 100%. I don't. Then I put all around me the people that has that specificity. If I don't have, to make myself stronger, I have to have people that give me that. And a leader, of course, has to give a direction, has to take care, it's not easy. But you have to give up your ego and make sure that you put the right people in the right place, even if your seat is in risk. If you can be able to do, you are a great leader, I believe.
We could go on for hours, Elio. I think.
Sorry, I talk too much.
I think we need to pull it up here. But it's been fascinating, as always. Thank you very much.
I hope was not too boring what I say.
No, your whole story is just amazing and fascinating. And please join us again.
Thank you very much.
Our next episode of Japan's,
Ciao, amici.
Yeah, of Japan's top business interviews.